Okay. Namaste, tic-tac, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. This chubby lady go rolling down the tic-tackety, rolling home down the tic-tackety streets. Okay, well, I'm losing my mind. Okay, well, this is part 2 of my gypsy opinion. My opinion on the situation with Gypsy, the gypster, and the baby. Okay, now, everything I say is in my opinion for entertainment purposes only, allegedly, and it's just my opinion, okay? I put my glasses on, so I'm intelligent, so you could believe me. Okay, anyhow. Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to. All right. My 2 cents. Oh, look at those nails. Okay. My 2 cents, all right, is, and I need a cup of coffee, but I don't have one. I have to go in the house to get one. Okay, anyhow. My 2 cents is, what I was trying to say is, I felt that Ken, you know, I'm trying to give credit where credit is due, and I felt that he really did seem to understand how to hold the baby, and did the angles that the baby liked, so that Gypsy, instead of feeling like a competition or feeling bad, like you have to one-up him, or you have to find a way, you know, where you could shine, learn from each other. You're both parents, right? Allegedly. Okay, anyhow. But the other thing, I don't like the baby's neck going back and forth. And I held my peace because I told you I have a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, and Gypsy stuff is down here and my real life stuff is here. Okay, so, but a baby's neck has to be supported, even if that baby is really 4 or 5 months old. Feel me? Okay, always has to be supported. Okay, especially an infant. Okay, at all times your hand should be cradling the neck, and also holding a baby up for a long period of time is not good. Like, just to let it stretch a little bit, but babies need to be held close to you, or when they're laying in their crib, they need to be turned over. You know, sometimes doctors don't want them on their back because if they spit up, they can choke on it. So lean them on the left side and then change it to the right side. Do things like that. Never on their back. But I'm sure you know that. But when you're holding the baby and the baby starts to cry, don't automatically shove that friggin' pacifier, okay? And I believe in pacifiers to a point, right? But you know what? Your baby is making such beautiful noises, the cooing. That's her voice. That's the way she communicates. She can only communicate by crying, by cooing and crying. When you shove a pacifier in their mouth, even though you put your finger in there and you know, she bit it, whatever, she you know, latched onto it a little bit, it's taking away her cooing time. It's taking away her communication time. Okay? Those sounds are beautiful. Okay? And you know what? Maybe you're not used to a crying baby, because you never really spent any time with any babies, right? Maybe Ken did, because I think he has a little sister, or a little brother, little sister, I think. But anyhow, you get used to their cries. You get used to, oh, that cry means they have a wet diaper or a dirty diaper. Oh, that cry means they are lonely and they just want attention. They want to be held. Or that cry means that they're scared. Or that cry means that they're hungry. By shoving the pacifier in because you're on a live stream and you don't want your baby to cry when you're holding the baby, that's the only way the baby gets to communicate. And you know, it's really, you're missing out on something really beautiful and lovely. Let them cry. Only use the pacifier when you know the baby's diaper was changed, the baby was fed, the baby was burped, you sung to the baby, maybe you gave the baby a nice warm bath. Sometimes that's what they want. And if you've done all of those things and the baby is tired and getting overtired, that's when the pacifier comes in. But if they kick it out of their mouth 3 times, that means no pacifier. They want you to let them express themselves. Okay? And that just hold the neck. I have 2 kids, right? I have 4 kids altogether. I have 2 stepkids and I have 2 biological kids, okay? And I practically raised my 3 nephews. So I know a little bit about being around babies, and plus I'm a teacher. So I'm saying this not through a critical way. I'm saying this so hopefully you or Ken will watch this, or Christy, okay? Or even Bree, okay? It's just a little advice. You said you wanted advice in your last video, okay? And you know what? It's the baby's schedule. The baby has a schedule that is forget about concerts and going out. It just like for at least 6 months to a year, everything is about the baby and nothing about you, nothing about your boyfriend, okay? Everything is about how do we keep this baby healthy? How do we keep this baby alive? How do we keep this baby to thrive? Okay? And that's it. And happy and healthy and loved and nurtured. Okay? And every once in a while, you're going to be totally exhausted because you're going to try everything and nothing will work. And you're going to think, am I a bad parent? And, you know, everybody goes through that. That's part of being a parent. You think of that all the time, you know? And then one day, you might wake up and you realize, hey, I'm getting the hang of this. Right? And it's the hardest job you'll ever have, but it's also the greatest job you'll ever have. Remember, my sister Karen used to say this to me. When they're small babies, small problems. Little kids, little problems. Big kids, big problems. Okay? So in a way, this is the easy stuff. But actually, newborn to 9 months is kind of hard. It is kind of hard. And then they start to walk. Okay, I know. I have a couple of minutes, but I'm getting a call, so hold on a second. Let me see if I can pause this. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just... sorry about that. I don't know if I'm pausing it correctly, if I'm doing anything correct over here, but I just got like a whole bunch of phone calls and they were demanding me to answer them. This is never a dull moment. Okay. Anyhow, I forgot what I was saying, but I think I was just talking about when you have a baby, when you have small kids, everything in your life that you knew before is different. And that's very, very normal. That's why when you have kids, you really have to think, you know, am I going to be able to do this? Do I want to do this? You really have to want to do it. And it's 18 years. 18 to 21 years. And sometimes even longer they stay home. Okay? 18 years. And on the 18th year, found out wasn't his. Okay. That was a Kanye West song I was trying to sing. Anyhow, 2005 Kanye West song. But yeah, so really you have to be devoted and you have to really have it in your mind and you have to read some books and watch a lot of videos and ask people who have kids already for support and advice. Namaste.